What's up? Hey, Brianna. Hey, Winks. How are you? Welcome in. You see?
Hello, hello. Yeah.
All right. How is everyone's... What's today? Thursday?
Oh, Brianna, you know what we do? It's always extra.
See all of our figures in the screen. Gotta get these guys in here. Let's see. I gotta see if they...
Hey, Winks, how are you today? Can you hear us okay?
Give us some thumbs up if you can hear us.
We've got the camera a little bit back from us. Hey, Windy girl. Hello, Chrissy.
How come I can't see the chat on here? Oh, here we are.
Got
We
it.
got Brianna, Winks Wild Ride, Wendy Girl. What's going on? Thank you for your submission, Wendy Girl. We are excited to read your story back. Is this a living dead kid in costume? Yeah, we're paying them a lot of money to just sit there and go back and forth. This is our newest member of the Living Dead family right behind us. You guys know who that is.
You guys remember, maybe the younger folks don't, but back in the day there was a show called Tales in the Crypt.
Tales of
Tales of the Crypt.
Tales of the Crypt.
Tales of the Crypt. It was an HBO show, wasn't it?
I believe so, and it was. This is the Crypt Keeper right here.
This is the Crypt Keeper.
Puppeteer. Forgive me, I can't remember the guy's name. Amazing puppeteer, and did the voice talent as well with this character. Funny story how I inherited this guy. So you guys know, obviously we love Halloween stuff. We love everything Halloween. So we like to decorate, and a really good friend of mine that I used to work with, we were just small talk one day, and out of the blue we just started talking about Halloween, and I didn't realize how much he was into Halloween as well. And he said, yeah, when he lived with his mom and dad, they had like decorations everywhere, like outside in the yard, and they'd do like a little haunted house. It like wrapped around the side of their house and in the backyard and out the other side. And he said they would do this every year. Well, every year after Halloween, he would go to Spencer's. Do you guys remember Spencer's? Are they still around? Spencer's?
Hey, Mountain Cruz, Spencer's. Maybe
Spencer's
few and far
Gifts.
between.
Yeah.
Few and far between.
And he would always go and get the Halloween stuff half off, which you really can't do anymore. There's few stores like where you can get discounts on Halloween items, but anyways, and fast forward just to, I don't know, maybe 7-8 years ago, he had gotten married, has kids, and then unfortunately his parents, he didn't live with his parents anymore. His parents decided to sell the house, and he had all of this Halloween stuff stored in his house, animatronics, costumes, decorations, all things Halloween, you name it. And he's like, Damien, would you like all this stuff? I'm getting rid of it. I don't know what to do with it.
Get it out.
Well, first of all, his wife just did not like Halloween. She did not like the holiday.
Can you imagine?
And I know, right?
That would be so bad for either one of us.
Exactly.
Brian, hey Brian.
Anywho, so he was just purging all of his Halloween stuff. It took me 2 truckloads
Yeah.
to go back and forth to his house just to bring back a ton of Halloween stuff. And that's how I inherited this guy right here behind me, the Tales from the Crypt, the Crypt Keeper, along with some other fun things too that we got. So
A lot of it though just didn't weather well over the years. There was a point in the Halloween world where this foam took over.
Yeah.
And everything was like made of foam. And it was so great when it was brand new.
Yeah.
But then after like 2 or 3 years, it just didn't weather well.
The foam deteriorates, the paint deteriorates and cracks, and they're
Especially
especially
hard to keep.
yeah, especially if they're outdoors. The sun would just beat them up like anything else that the sun does. So, yeah, we got a few of these animatronic guys, so they'll probably be popping up when we do ghost stories every now and then. And we love the Hatbox ghosts here. These are mine and our son's.
Our son brought those out special for us today,
We
right?
got some fun collector's Hatbox ghost stuff in front of us. And you guys know our Living Dead.
Our living dead tumblers.
Thanks again, Zombies, if you're watching, or if you're watching on the replay.
Pretty stoked about those right there, I'll tell
Yeah.
ya. Pretty stoked about those.
All right, sorry, I'm kind
Alright,
of just
you guys.
ignoring the chat
DVD.
here.
We used to record every Tales from the Crypt on HBO on VHS tapes in the 80s. That I remember. And needing, even going back before the timers, you needed to be there when it started so that you could hit record. Eventually, VCRs got savvy enough that you could set a timer.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
And you have stacks of VHS tapes all over the house.
And then you'd always have someone in the family who wouldn't write down what they recorded on there.
Yeah.
So you just had all these blank. You'd have to go through 40 or 50 VHS to find out what you had. Stevie, that's fun. Hey, welcome to the channel, Stevie D.
That's awesome, Stevie. You should, I don't know where you can find any of these movies or the Tales from the Crypt. Are they
They've
still
gotta be
available?
somewhere. You know, I wonder if they are on Max.
HBO Max,
I wonder
probably,
if they're
huh?
on HBO Max. So some ghost story or horror movie people had Elvira.
Yeah.
Before Elvira, we had Vampira, who I premiered on Instagram yesterday for Women's History Month for Women of Horror. Vampira was the original, basically, Elvira.
Mhm.
Little more muted. Elvira came in a different time.
Yeah.
And then we got this guy. He's not quite as sexy, but he's all right. He's all right.
He'll do
Hey,
the
Grandma LT.
Hey, Grandma LT, welcome in.
Grandma can't tell where we are. We're in the loft.
We are right above
We're
you.
right above you.
Grandma, feel free to come upstairs and
I
give us some
know.
ghost stories, because
My
Grandma...
mom's got a couple of good ghost stories, and actually, if this does okay, if we have enough of an audience and desire for more, my mom's got a couple of really good ones that she told me that one she experienced, and one a really close friend of hers experienced. So maybe someday we can get Grandma LT up here to tell hers. Hey Justin, hello there Susan, how are you?
Hey, welcome in, guys.
Nice to have you here.
Welcome aboard. Oh, thank you, Brianna. Thanks for the reminder. I don't know if you guys have been around. It kind of happened on a day after we almost hit 400 when we were live not too long ago. And like the next morning, we finally hit 400 subscribers recently. So we are now at, what, 404, 405?
I think 404.
404 right now. So
We had 405. Someone decided they didn't like us and bailed, and you're going to have that. And that's kind of why I think we like our name and our theming and everything, because at the end of the day, we are not everybody's flavor.
Yeah.
And it took us close to 50 years to be okay with that. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to share some ghost stories with you guys today. We both enjoy, I call it ghost investigating, because we're not really hunting ghosts, right? You can't capture them or anything. It's not like you come back with some big prize.
I mean, unless you're like Ghostbusters and you capture them, but
I know. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. We could. We could get our proton
There we
packs
go.
on and
now you're talking.
look all a fool out there. I'm all about it. But we do enjoy ghost investigating, and you're always going to have your naysayers and non-believers, and until you experience it for yourself, all you're going to have are stories or your own experiences to share. So we welcome those at any time. We're at thelivingdeadfamily@gmail.com. So I don't care what your experience is, big, little, saw something move that shouldn't move, a door closed, a door opened. Sometimes it's just a feeling. Sometimes you just can literally feel next to you and the space gets cold. Or I've had myself where it feels like a cold breeze went through me.
Yeah.
It's just like, what in the world was that? Where just, there's so many different beliefs and opinions, and this is just an open-minded thing. We trust what comes across our email, and there's no personal belief shared or anything here. It's not about religion or otherwise. It's just about sharing other people's experiences. So,
And it doesn't necessarily have to be supernatural as far as ghost. There's several other things out there that fall under this category that, in addition to ghosts, for example, UFOs.
UFOs. Yeah.
There's several witness accounts.
Our government's finally
I
starting
know. They're starting to tell us the aliens are real, right? So
They're coming around.
there must be some other life form out there.
Yeah.
So there's several accounts, like I said, of people witnessing UFOs. So if you got a good UFO story, we'd be more than happy to hear it as well. Any type of urban legends, like a Bigfoot sighting,
Bigfoot, that's a good one.
I mean, there's so many, some cryptids, the Mothman.
Okay, so what is a cryptid?
So cryptid would be anything kind of like the Mothman, or some type of an urban legend type of thing.
Urban legends.
That might, something like maybe a big giant winged creature or something like that.
Okay.
Anything, just something that you would not normally see in the daytime. It could be some type of what they call, night crawlers, or I know there's just several types of names and they're escaping me right now, but any type of weird,
Poltergeist, yeah.
any weird looking creature that does not look human would be considered a cryptid. Something that you just see randomly in the forest. That doesn't look like a dog, a cat, or a bear. That looks something different. That thing's 12 feet tall.
Right.
Walking on its hind legs. What is that, a wolf man, or what is that?
In the world?
That's kind of an example of a cryptid. Another thing that can fall under this category that we would like you guys to share with us as well is something that just kind of happens out of the ordinary. We like to call head scratchers. And I, for one, have an example. I can share that. What happened with me maybe just not too long ago, maybe a few weeks ago, a month ago.
Yeah.
I was in the shower. I just got done working out at the gym, and I hopped in the shower real quick. And as I'm in there, in the shower, we have a decent sized bathroom, so it's all just one giant like walk-through bathroom. There's a private potty room, just a single door. There's a toilet room, and it's adjacent to the shower. And anyway, there's a his and her sinks. I'm trying to paint the picture for you guys so you guys can understand. Anyway, so I'm in the shower, and with the frosted glass that surrounds the shower. And I'm in there washing my hair, and I see Living Dead Mom walk right past me. Didn't think anything of it. Next thing I know, I'm like, well, she's really in the restroom for a while. I'm just wrapping up, getting ready to be done with my shower. Next thing I know, I see Living Dead Mom walk past me again in the shower, and I said, she went in there, came back. I says, did you just walk by me a second ago? And she's like, well, I just did right now. I'm like, no, like 5 minutes ago. She says, no, I wasn't here. I said, well, then who was it then? It was the only other person in the house. The kids were at school, and then our second oldest daughter was home, but she was downstairs with her little one, and it just freaked me out because I realized, well, then who was just here? I saw it wasn't like a shadow or like an apparition. Out of the corner of my eye, I see her walk right past me, and it was like I don't know, what do you call it, like a glitch or something. I don't know what it was. But that's an example of some type of accounts that maybe some of you guys had. If something doesn't seem right in the universe, there's some weird things happening out there right now. So if you guys got those stories, please feel free to let us know. Email them to us. We'd be happy to share. Of course, you don't have to say who you are. It's totally fine. Yeah. Just send it in. What's anonymously? Is that
anonymously? I know we were working on that one.
So definitely, or if you want your name to be said, or one of like your YouTube name, for example, your YouTube handle, that's fine as well. And yeah, we'll be more than happy to share your ghost stories or your encounters with the rest of our channel. So hopefully. After this one, we can.
Vibes. Welcome in.
Yeah, welcome
Miss Garcia,
in.
welcome in.
Who else is here?
I know Justin.
I saw some new names earlier.
I did see a couple new
Chrissy,
names. Brian.
Chrissy Geyer. How are you? Welcome in. We appreciate you being here. Ricky from Chicago. How are you, my friend?
Hey, Ricky. Welcome in.
We got Susanna, proud single mom. How are you? Welcome to the channel. Got some new faces tonight. We like to see new people, new family members, part of the Living Dead family. Welcome in. We appreciate you guys being here. Let's see. I think we are good. Thumbs up if you can guys hear us. Can you hear us okay? We got some creepy music vibes playing in the background. I don't know if you guys can even hear that at all, but I don't want it to be too loud and drown our voices out, so hopefully maybe in the future we'll think about getting some type of a microphone system for us, maybe some type of a podcast. We could possibly turn this into a podcast, just extract the audio from this and just throw it up out as a podcast as well. So
and this is going to give us practice on learning how to read these. You know, the right tone, the right voice, the right pause, the right exclamation, etc., etc. I think you've got a better voice.
Probably, and I like listening to Ghost Story podcast as well, so I can't help it.
So then you're a natural. So, shall we get started?
Yeah.
Shall we get started? Okay, so the first one we have here is from Wendy Girl. Wendy, thank you so much for sending this in. Thank you for giving us some content for tonight. It looks like we've got a couple here maybe separated, and for some reason the font kind of changed, which is totally fine. So maybe just take a little pause if it starts to feel like a new story, but I'm thinking this last one is a whole story here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give that to you. I think it's light enough that you can see it okay.
I think so.
All right.
Should be
and then here
enough.
is the third page.
Okay, 3 pages.
Yep.
Oh, Wendy does not have any haunted ghost stories at all.
None. And it sounds like she has even more that she can share, and that is amazing.
Very cool. Well, awesome. Thank you again, Wendy, for your submission to the channel here. We really appreciate that. So, all right. If you guys are ready, then we will go ahead and start this. We kind of already had with my first ghost story, but this is from, you guys know who she is in the chat, Wendy Girl. And this is her story, or stories, I should say, from some ghost encounters. So here we go. Yorktown, Virginia. On an investigation back in 2006 in Yorktown Historic Area, there is a path called the Slave Trail, where the ships pulled up on the Yorktown beach and brought the slaves onto the land to be sold. I was walking the trail with my recorder. It was me and 2 other team members around 10 p.m. with no one else around. We were staying at the nearby hotel called the Duke of York, which was a 5-minute walk from the trail and in the heart of the historic area. When we returned to the room to review our recordings, I was surprised to hear what sounded like a horse galloping. First thing I thought of was a Revolutionary soldier, because Yorktown is where the Revolutionary was fought. Later in the recording, I heard a clear, deep voice that took a breath in and said, "Wendy," which obviously was calling my name. A minute later, the same voice said, "Going to get you." That was all picked up on the trail on that night. Same night later, that evening after midnight, in walking distance, is an old church with a graveyard built in 1697 called Grace Episcopal Church. Me and one other member was walking around the graveyard with our recorder asking questions. I did not pick up anything at the time, however, the other team member did. On the recording, she called my name as if she was looking to where I was, and right after she called my name, a voice said, "To the gate." The voice was captured near the end of the recording when she realized I had left out of the cemetery, which makes you wonder, was the spirit telling her I had left? Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Okay, that was story number 1, I'm guessing.
I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any reactions to that? Wow.
I mean, I would have hearing someone say your name, that's next level.
Yeah.
That's next level. Seeing and your feelings and all that. But hearing,
How do you explain that?
Yeah.
That's
Hearing your name.
that's personal.
That's personal. That's a different.
That's just not
That's a different thing.
Hey you. That Wendy was targeted.
Yeah, Wendy was. Someone knew who she was.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy.
That's
a good one.
Maybe it could have been a long lost relative. Maybe that's someone that knew her name that was there.
Yeah.
A family member. Who knows?
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. That is spooky, huh?
Very, very spooky.
I love it. I love it.
All right. Shall we continue on with number 2 here? All right.
Gettysburg, what an amazing place to go
Yeah.
and have an investigation.
I've never been to
No.
that coast. You've been to the East Coast, but not to.
And I've never been to Gettysburg.
Which is
I know that it's a popular destination for any ghost guru, if you will, but in a lot of accounts there of things happening. So imagine if you're there long enough and at the right times, you'll capture something. Let's see what she captured.
Okay. Continuing on, this is Wendy Girl again. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. In the fall of 2006, on one of many trips to Gettysburg, we did a night investigation on the Gettysburg battlefield. The battlefield itself is a very large battlefield in many sections. You're able to access the battlefield up to 9 p.m. at night and can walk or drive through the battlefield.
Wow.
We captured many orbs on our camera that night throughout the battlefield, and especially at the Devil's Den. Later that evening, we returned to where we were staying at the investigation that night. An old bed and breakfast just on the outskirts of Gettysburg called the Cashtown Inn, built in 1797 as one of the oldest, I don't know if that's a typo.
One of the oldest hostilleries.
Hostilleries.
Like a hostel.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Hostilleries.
Hostilleries in the region. Cashtown Inn had served for the entertainment of strangers and travelers since 1815. That fateful summer in 1863, however, Cashtown Inn served hundreds of unwelcome strangers, including Confederate Generals A.P. Hill, Henry Heth, and John D. Imboden,
Wow.
suffering from a chronic ailment when he arrived at Cashtown at the head of his corpse on June 29th. The 37-year-old set up his headquarters in a relative comfort of Cashtown Inn. Me and the other member was supposed to stay in the Heath room. However, no other rooms were booked that night. So the owner opened all the rooms and let us have the entire house to ourselves for the investigation.
That's awesome.
The home was very beautiful, but it was creepy and literally in the middle of nowhere on a long dark road leading out of Gettysburg. We were able to catch several orbs in some of the rooms.
Wow.
On one of the recordings that night, I captured a voice saying, "Hot diggity." The other voices were picked up, but were very hard to understand. All in all, the house was very creepy and fell to it, but the outside of the house to me is where you feel the heavy feeling of dread.
Wow.
It's very dark, and you constantly feel as though something is watching your every move.
That's a crazy
Wow. That
feeling.
is
That's a
very,
crazy feeling.
very crazy.
Wow.
Holy cow. Hot diggity.
Of all things.
Of all things to say.
Of all things.
But that was the lingo and language back then,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No one else says hot diggity these days, so...
And it's pretty cool. You definitely have to travel to that part of the country to find the old relics, if you will, homes. We just don't have many of those on the West Coast.
Yeah, hardly any.
Cemeteries as well. The cemeteries back there are next level when you get to start looking at the dates
Yeah.
of when people lived and died, and the Grim Reapers on the headstones.
Wow.
And
That's incredible.
it's nothing like the graves here. It's I in particular enjoy, I don't know why. There's no why. I just enjoy my time in a cemetery. I think I could honestly be one of those people, if we had them, that would go and seek out old graves that need some sort of restoring. And I think I could just spend hours in the solitude and quiet and restore and research and share about the different graves that I come across. And we just don't have that in California.
Yeah.
So
It's
that's cool
unfortunate.
to go to Gettysburg and have that experience is
That's incredible.
pretty incredible.
It's worth going alone just to do your own ghost investigating out there.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Continuing on with more ghost stories from
Wendy, we
Wendy
need to
Girl.
get you to share these recordings with us.
That would be awesome. If,
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another good thing too. Is
It's not just us. I mean us. Like,
Us.
all of us here.
if any of you guys out there that like to do like audio recordings, if you guys are
Yes,
capable
recorder.
of getting what we call EVPs, right?
EVPs. Mm-hmm.
EVPs meaning taking your cell phone or a small little handheld recorder, and if you're hearing something on there that wasn't there when you were recording earlier, those would be fun to listen to live.
Yeah.
To listen to those audio files.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be really cool.
I think so too. And sometimes they are hard to make out what they're
They
saying.
really are.
But you know something's being said. And that if you are into ghosted investigating, just getting something is exciting.
Yeah.
You don't always, it's not often like they show on TV where they just blurt out what they think they said. Oh, he said this, and they're so sure about it, and no, not really.
Crazy.
All right.
All right,
keep
should we
going.
continue
Keep
on?
going. Let's do
All
this.
right. Let's see. Hopefully, this is the new story here, not attach the other one. In 2007, an article about my family's experiences from the 1992 was featured in the Virginian Pilot newspaper. I was 19 at the time of this happening to myself and family. She struggled to get out of bed for more than 2 minutes. Something was holding her down. It had to be something, not someone, because no one else was in the room except her husband, who was fast asleep next to her. As Belinda Swindle tried to comprehend what was happening, the rumors she had heard flooded her consciousness. "That house is haunted," neighborhood children said of the Cushing Street duplex she and her husband had moved into with her parents, sisters, and brother. The 23-year-old newlywed had chalked it up to youthful imagination. Now she wasn't so sure. Why couldn't she move? Suddenly, the restraint on her body disappeared, and she flew across the bed from the force with which she had been pushing against it. There was no doubt in her mind she had a supernatural experience.
Oh, no doubt.
2 nights later, her younger sister Chrissy, then 12, woke up screaming. She felt hands encircling her throat. She hadn't seen anyone. A short while later, finger-shaped bruises appeared on her neck. As Roman Catholics, Belinda and her siblings believed they could expel the evil force living in their home. She and her brother Richard Thomas walked through the house sprinkling holy water that has been blessed by a priest at their church, that only seemed to antagonize the unseen perpetrator.
Oh, man.
Soon, the furnace's pilot light started routinely going out at night, filling the house with gas. The landlord and a heating contractor couldn't find problems with the furnace. Belinda's parents took turns staying awake through the night to ensure they wouldn't become victims of gas poisoning. 5 months after moving in, the family left, paying penalties for breaking the lease.
Good call.
Swindle hadn't thought much about paranormal phenomena before, and as a skeptic, when it came to things like ghosts, her family's experience in that Craddock house in 1992, however, made her a believer.
Yeah.
I personally experienced so many things such as voices, something touching me, and the feeling of something watching you at all times. The energy was very heavy and dark. The night my sister and brother were trying to cleanse the house, I stood outside with a good friend and neighbor, and we witnessed the lights in the house flickering from room to room.
Wow.
The experience has stayed with the family throughout our lives, and we have wondered if the spirit still visits us today from many other experiences we have all had to this day.
Wow.
So that was that one experience. She's going to talk about another one here. That was really creepy.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but yeah, if there's someone
That's-
choking me, leaving
That's a dark one.
fingerprints, that's very dark.
Yeah.
That's not just a booze scare you. That one, when they get physical like that, that's when you just gotta go.
You've got to go. And if you didn't have any success with the holy water, or I know that there's different ways you can, I guess, bless your house, for lack of better words, be it sage, or maybe having your priest or pastor come in. We'll talk more on that later, because we had an experience that we're going to talk about tonight, where we had to reach out, and we did the same thing. We got holy water, but we'll touch on that here in a second.
Yeah.
But wow, I can't imagine. That's next level.
Yeah.
That's next level. That doesn't leave you. That stays with you forever.
Absolutely.
Forever. May you never experience that danger again, because I believe in that wholeheartedly. I believe in those abilities, that energy, the capabilities of that energy, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
That they can impose pain and hurt, and
That, like, how do you fight something that's not physical, that's not there?
You can't take that off of you.
Yeah.
there's no physical presence, no matter. There's no matter.
That's
a crazy one.
That's a tough one. And how do you sleep again after an experience?
What a creepy house.
The fear.
Have you ever gone to Google to see if that house is still standing, Wendy? Like the street view, to see if that house is still standing. I would wonder if it would maybe, if whatever entity was in there and stayed there, at some point, did someone just say this house has got to go?
Yeah. Usually with something like that too, and here's the hard part to distinguish. It could be just an angry evil ghost, or it could be something demonic as well.
Chrissy, are you Wendy's sister here? She says, it was a very scary house to be in. Imagine being a 12-year-old girl and having to sleep on the couch with your mother because you refused to go into your bedroom alone. It's in a historic area in Portsmouth, Virginia. Wow. First of all, Chrissy, thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for sharing your story. I know these aren't always easy to share, and thank you for opening that up so that we can also share our own experiences. And thank you for writing this down so we could share with others. Wow.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, I don't know how you move forward with that.
I mean, I guess it's just like so many other things in our lives. You just need time to go by, and it seems like it doesn't go by in those moments. But as more time goes by, you can start to talk about it and share it, and maybe learn how to exercise. I'm going to use the word exercise. Exercise that demon. I'm going to use the word. I'm going to plug it in there and say that's some sort of demonic nature, and that's definitely very scary.
Wow.
Chrissy, Wendy, thank you so much.
Yes,
it looks like you had a little bit more here.
Yeah, there's still more on this sheet, and then this might be the last story from Wendy Girl. Okay, continuing on from our same entry, Wendy Girl. Let's see, another experience my sister had was featured in a Virginia Ghost Stories book by L.B. Taylor.
Wow. We'll have to get a hold of those.
I know.
Right?
Belinda Swindle and her research group had heard of the man who stood under the streetlight. This sounds fun already.
Right? I just immediately had the picture from The Exorcist pop up in my head, right? If you've seen the cover for that movie.
The movie poster, the classic.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of.
I've got the goosebumps.
Makes the hair stand up on your arms.
Sure did. Keep going.
All right, here we go. So the man who stood under the streetlight. Let's hear about this story here. Some drivers with a yellow cab taxi company several years ago had told her about the figure that appeared on Hampton Boulevard between Woodrow Avenue and Azalea Court. They said the man glowed. Determined to catch a glimpse of the mysterious figure on Hampton Boulevard, Swindle drove by the reportedly haunted street lamp each night to and from her job as a leasing agent at Yellow Cab. She usually finished work between midnight and 1 a.m. Late one night in 2001, her perseverance paid off. As I was driving down Hampton Boulevard one night, I saw him, she said. I slowed down and could clearly see a man in the 1970s style suit leaning against the light pole. His suit looked light blue and a polyester type fabric. His head looked like it was bandaged and his whole body was glowing very brightly. His skin looked very white and he was kind of heavy set. Swindle immediately slowed her car and took a good look at the figure. Cars behind her honked their horns for her to speed up. I was thinking, Don't they see what I'm seeing? She said, incredulous that the apparition didn't evoke more interest from the other motorist. She parked at the next intersection and turned around to look, but the man was gone.
Uh-huh.
I know what I saw, said Swindle 38. I'd sure like to see him again. She returned a week later with investigative equipment to the spot where she had seen the tall, glowing ghost, but failed to detect abnormal activity. I have so many more stories from investigations from my family's research group we had from battlefields, people who contacted us for help, and even a military base in Virginia called Fort Monroe. Thanks for accepting my story. I will leave it there so others can submit their stories. Wow.
Thank you so much,
Very nice.
Wendy.
Thank you, Wendy.
That was awesome.
Can we put some hearts in the chat
Hearts
for
and
Wendy?
ghosts.
Put some ghost in the chat. We got, for those of you that are capable of the ghost emojis.
Wow.
Wow, that was incredible.
That was good.
Wow.
That was good.
I like that last one. That was fun. Those are fun ghost stories.
Those are good.
Those are good ones.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
They're intriguing.
I like those when you can see.
Leave you wanting a little more.
Yeah.
Leaving you wanting a little more.
Makes me want to go take a look on what's over there in Virginia, right?
I know. I'm thinking.
I mean, you have content
somewhere
for
to
days.
somewhere to put on the to-do list, the
Gosh.
bucket list.
No kidding. Field trip. Let's
Field
go.
trip. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Hey PJ, thank you for being here. Windy Girl can't say thank you enough. I think drop us an address somewhere. We'd like to send you a thank you of some sort. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to give that to us. Little Rue, thank you for joining. Daisy, how are you? And Chrissy as well. Thank you so much for sharing your stories with us. Doom Booby, how are you?
Doom Boogie.
Miss Garcia, thank you guys, everyone, for joining us. We've got a couple more. We're not done yet.
We're still here.
Checking the camera there.
Sometimes I still have the gimbal going, so I want to make sure it's still awake. I remember last time we did a, was it movie night?
Yeah.
Like we were almost done with the movie.
We had a problem.
And the gimbal died, therefore it kind of killed the live stream too, because I was connected through it with the power cord. So
we were gonna share a personal story of our own, and then we're gonna do that in 3 stages because, gosh, I don't even know where to start.
start at the beginning.
I know. So, we lived in a house in Canyon Lake, which is a city next to us. It's a very small, gated community based on a freshwater reservoir in Riverside County here. So it's kind of nestled between Lake Elsinore and Menifee. Has a small population of about 18,000, 20,000 maybe?
I think so.
Maybe not even that many. Maybe I just overshot that by a lot. No, maybe. Anyway. We were renting a house there for a little while. It was about 2009. And the reason this one was very significant to us was because it was something everyone experienced. These guys weren't born yet. Our younger kids weren't born yet, but our older daughters were, about 7 and what? So 09, one was 7, one was 10, right around in there. And so I had both of those girls, our girls, write down their accounts, and then we could share what we experienced because we were on different sides of the house, but all roughly experienced the same thing. So I'm going to start with our Marys letter first. And Mary starts out by saying, "Hi, Living Dead fam, and welcome to my ghost story. You can call me Mary, your daughter. I have felt haunted since I was a younger girl, never quite knowing why. It started around the age of 7 from what I remember. My sister was 10 at the time and we shared a room. I loved to sleep in bed with my mom every night growing up. When I reached about the age of 7, that stopped, and I would ask my sister nightly, 'Can I please sleep in bed with you tonight?' And she oh so kindly would tell me, 'No.' This sucked for me, considering there was definitely someone in the hallway watching me at night. My bed faced the door directly, and I always stayed up late watching TV. Once George Lopez came on, and I knew I was up too late. It was always at this point that I'd focus my attention back on the hallway and the shadow that always watched over me. Sometimes I'd even speak into the darkness, saying the nicest things a 7-year-old can pick up. I wanted the ghost to be my friend, which gave me comfort when I'd go to sleep. I finally opened up to my mom about it, telling her exactly what I saw. A tall, dark figure in my hall every single night. Some nights I'd have the nerve to get up and shut the door. Other nights I'd just stare. She told me, "Well, maybe it's your grandpa, honey." My grandpa had passed away 3 years prior. He was funny, sometimes grumpy, and loved to tickle us. Shout out to my awesome grandpa in heaven. This explanation made perfect sense, and sleeping at night much easier. It was like I had a guardian angel watching over me. Things seemed to stay normal till one day. This night is quite fuzzy in my head, but it goes along the lines of the shadow man getting much closer to me. I saw him walking through the wall in my bedroom, the wall that my bed was closest to. I ran to tell my mom that I saw a man walk through my wall. Looking back, I don't think this man was my grandfather, and as I got older, my mom opened up to us more about her own experiences she had when she was younger, and even experiences in the same house that I had my encounter. As time went on, I realized my mom's sister and I had most likely encountered the same person or ghost.
Completely forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So then Brianna is the sister that slept in the same room with her. And so this is her account. She also said, this was back in 2009 when my mother, my sister, and I moved into a rental home for a little bit. It was one of those homes on top of the garage, so you need to take the stairs to get to the front door. The garage was just your normal 2-car space, but it had an additional optional storage room that my sister and I nicknamed the spooky room due to the eeriness in the appearance of the room. It was ironically the only room that was not haunted, as we would find out. It was the only room. Ironically, was the only room not haunted. I would have thought that room was haunted.
Yeah, it was creepy.
For quite a bit of our stay in the house, my sister and I shared a large bedroom. Right outside the bedroom door was a small hallway that contained the washer and the dryer and led to the living room, bathroom, etc. This hallway would soon become infamous for paranormal activity. Another room that appeared to be active was the kitchen. The last area that I need to mention is the outside patio in front of the home. Now, I genuinely believe there was a poltergeist in the kitchen, as cabinets and other doors would randomly open or shut. Now, you might be thinking that someone must have opened or shut something and I just didn't see. Except there would be times I would hear the cabinet slam and walk into the kitchen and no one to be seen. I never physically saw the act of these things moving, but would occasionally hear or see the cabinet doors not the way they were prior. The main thing I want to focus on is this house through the hallway, though, is the hallway. As mentioned, my sister and I shared a room. We often left the door open as young children, as we were supposed to. However, we never felt comfortable due to the feeling that we were being watched from the hallway. I was more fortunate as my bed was tucked in the far corner of the room. However, my younger sister's bed could easily be seen directly from the hallway. Sleeping at night was never peaceful, and there was always something to be this evil presence in the hallway, and again the eerie feeling that you were being watched in your sleep. We never felt comfortable at night, and my sister especially voiced her fears, as she should. Our room also had a window that looked out to the patio as well. I always felt like there was something outside the window too, but I always chalked it up to my fears getting the best of me. Paranormal activity came to a head one night. My mom and our now stepdad apparently started hearing a big bouncy ball on the outdoor patio bouncing in the middle of the night repeatedly with no one outside. It was very shortly after this on the same night that I saw an orb appear at the foot of my bed. Like any normal person would, I immediately ran to my mother in fear at what I had seen. Now, according to my mom, I just saw an orb and nothing more when I told her. To my memory, which I should probably add might have been additional dramatization that a child creates in their head when something like this occurs, I saw a slight silhouette of a man, all white, at the foot of my bed. Now, our mom and our stepdad went the next morning to a local Catholic church and got holy water, despite us not even being Catholic. After the holy water had entered the home, the paranormal activity had stopped. My sister and I were finally able to sleep much more at peace. So that is both girls' account of what happened in the Canyon Lake house.
Yeah.
We'll just call it the Canyon Lake house. And so what seemed to have happened was it feels like a bunch of little activities, because there were other times we saw things, felt things, things moved, but it was like one particular night that the energy, it felt like there was just this tenseness in the air.
Yeah.
It was heavy. It was like almost hard to breathe, as if the room had filled with like humidity.
Right.
The air literally got heavy. And from our account, we were just sitting there talking, and it was like, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and our house faced the lake. It looked over the lake. And so it wasn't uncommon for us to get like raccoons coming up the stairs. There was a big deck. You would go up a set of stairs, and we had a big deck where you could sit, and we had our barbecue out there. Because of the view from the front of our house, it didn't make sense to spend time in the backyard, so everything was focused on the front yard. So it wasn't unusual to hear raccoons walking around out there, or some kind of disturbance. But one night our cat had kind of flown off the bed and got on her hind legs and was looking out the window, even though the curtain was closed. She knew something was out there. And all of a sudden we started to hear a ball bouncing, but there was nothing out there. There was no one out there, and there was no ball.
Yeah, not that I can remember.
There was no ball.
There was no toy outside or nothing.
Yeah, there was no toy out there.
It literally sounded like if you were to take a ball, just a bouncy ball, and just drop it, and it would just kind of hit, and then like it would get smaller and smaller, like the amount of time it takes for the ball to finally finish bouncing. That's kind of what it sounded like outside. And I just remember that the cat, and that's what kind of woke me up. It wasn't, I caught the tail end because I was kind of in a dead sleep, and I caught the tail end of the ball bouncing. It kind of woke me up, and I was disoriented from my sleep. But I felt the cat slowly like creeping over me. The cat was curious what was going on outside, because the cat sensed there was something on the outside of our window. So I felt her like slowly creeping across me, across my body, just to get to the window, because she was more curious. I don't think she was really scared, but she was kind of curious.
But she was being like all stealthy. She didn't just like hop down and look out the window. She was moving the way a cat does, how they kind of crouch down and, you know, drag themselves almost, and then went off the bed and dragged herself, and then she cautiously was trying to look out the window. She had her own vibe.
Yeah.
And the sound outside just kept getting like louder and louder.
Mm-hmm.
Like the ball was bouncing harder on the wood deck.
Yeah.
And then it was shortly after that there was a green light of some sort. Maybe it was an orb.
Is that the one you saw, like the frame of our bedroom door? Remember you saying you saw like a light?
No, this was outside.
Okay,
that night.
That same night, yeah.
Yes, that same night there was like a green light we could see through the curtain, but it was outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we were both just too scared to really even figure out what was going on. And then it all just came to a head in a matter of seconds. So the girls, now we know, you know, the girls were experiencing what they were experiencing. And we were experiencing what we were experiencing. And then it was right about the same time the girls started running across the house to come get us, to share with us what they had just seen. We were getting up to go towards them, and we saw the light come through.
Yeah.
We saw the orb come through, and it was good size.
Mm-hmm.
And there were 4 people that saw the very same thing and felt the very same thing, and it was intense. I can't relay the feeling. I mean, obviously, literally having the fear, just the scare. You're scared because you have no control.
Right.
You have no control. And the rest of that night was just. But then it was gone.
Yeah, that was like probably the most.
It just whatever it
activity
was.
We had that night.
It did what it did. It went through our house, and then it was quiet.
Was that the same night where we heard the what we thought was popcorn being popped?
Mm-mm.
That was a different night, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had a lot of experiences in this house.
Yeah.
But that was the one that shook us.
Yeah.
It's like we had the cabinet things, we had other small things, a little this, a little that, a little sprinkling here, a little sprinkling there. But this night that have accounts of from the girls and from us, and so we left the house and didn't go back, and we met at the church after work. We both worked and went to the church after that was closest to our childhood homes in that was in Buena Park, right? The church?
I think so, yeah.
We went to St. Pius Church off of Orangethorpe, in between Stanton.
Commonwealth, or I forget what the cross streets are.
Stanton and Beach and Western? I don't know. It's off of Orangethorpe there in Buena Park, across from what is now a Target shopping center. Back then, I think that was all just kind of getting started, wasn't it? I can't remember.
So, yeah.
So we went and got some holy water, and we went home that night, and we sprinkled it everywhere, and we kept it. We kept the holy water with us in our room in a water bottle.
That's right.
On our nightstand, right close, because we were just desperate.
Yeah, I think we even we asked
the priest.
Yeah, they had just got done with like their Saturday mass service, and which is, I don't know, like late afternoon, early evening. I think it was between like 5 or 6. when we got there, and it was just by chance. We just pulled in because we were just going to get holy water and leave. But there happened to be, the service was just ending. There was a priest just kind of standing there
outside,
saying goodbye to all the parishioners or whatever. And we just went up to him. We says, "Excuse me, Father, can you give us a blessing, please?" And yeah, he just blessed. We didn't tell him why. We just asked for a blessing to please bless us.
Yeah.
And
we were too scared to go home without doing something. We didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so that was, I remember my mom going online and trying to find maybe someone that could help us. Because I don't know if I can explain. Well, Wendy, you know, your sister knows the level of fear that just inhabits every thought you have, every feeling you have. And you're scared to death to go back home.
Yeah.
But you can't afford to do anything else, you know. Yeah, it was creepy beyond measure. Creepy beyond measure. And God knows we've had plenty more since then. It's really funny because when I met Damien,
yeah, tell him how this all started.
I know. When I met Damien, we initially met in high school, and then we reconnected after like 15 years out of school. And when I met him, we had in common that we both love Halloween. And, you know, with that comes the ghost stories and we go ghost hunting. You know, he had gone with his friends and family and stuff doing different ghost adventures at different like places in San Diego and stuff. And I said, well, that's funny because I've had experiences all my life. So, you know, kind of a stick with me kid, and you may actually experience something. And so
I didn't believe her.
I
was
know.
Like, nah, she's just telling me stories. She doesn't have superpowers, or she doesn't attract what do you call it, paranormal things like that. I'm like, she just wants to keep me around.
Yeah.
Boy, was I kept around for sure.
Yeah.
Those were fun.
And it still continues, even to, like he said, just a matter of weeks ago. I don't think it was that long ago. And something's definitely, you know, followed us into our house here. So, but doesn't seem bad by any nature. So we do have, I don't want to give them all away tonight. We do have other things we can share. But you guys got to let us know what you thought of the storytelling. If this is something you guys were into, if you would want to do this again. And
how long have we been on for? Is it
I think just maybe an hour-ish.
An hour?
Yeah, roughly an hour.
63 minutes. We got a few of you guys. We got 26 people in the chat. My
Thank
goodness.
you guys for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
We appreciate
You guys are
it.
awesome.
I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the parks and everything, but we still went for it. We still turned on the camera and said, hopefully we have more than 2 people with us tonight. But we have a lot more accounts we can share, and I know that, like Wendy Girl here, other people have things they can share. We've got 400 subscribers, so maybe someone other than Wendy has something. Who knows? Like Damien was saying earlier, it could be cryptids or UFOs or other things. So we've got our email, which is livingdeadfamily@gmail.com. And I think we can even investigate into other stories that have been shared in other places that we can read.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wendy Girl. Thank you.
Should I give him a little teaser of like one more story?
Yeah.
With our little Yorkie.
I know. I've
That's
got
no
one
longer
from
with us.
Brianna about that here.
I don't know if it's that
The
one
same
specifically.
one. Okay. She's probably got her own accounts.
Probably. Yeah. But I almost think he was the haunted one.
I think he was the haunted one. I think our dog was haunted.
We used to have a little Yorkshire terrier. He's no longer with us now, but we had him, gosh, about 7, 8 years. We had him in the previous house, not our first house we had together, but our second home we had. And he was fine back then when we got him. It wasn't until we moved, before the house we're in currently now, we had to live in a temporary house, a temp house. And I think that place might have been a little, I think there was something going on. I'm not sure what was going on in there, but whatever was in that house, the temporary house, I think was really took a liking to that little Yorkshire Terrier. His name was Cobra Bubbles. The kids named him Punchy. He had all kinds of names. He was a little terror.
He was.
He was a terror. I called him a piece of trash, piece of garbage, because that was but out of love, that's what I called him.
But we loved him dearly.
We loved him to pieces.
He was the cutest.
And I mean, I'll tell the story that I was working. I think you were at home. There was like almost 3 families in a small little 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. However, there was one day they were all kind of just congregating in the living room, just watching TV, and the dog was sitting there on her lap, and they were on the floor, and she could specifically remember there was his dog food and his water bowl was kind of right by the TV, so it was maybe, I don't know, 5-6 feet away from where they were sitting, and she saw a piece of kibble that was on the floor, just kind of tossed over to the little dog. There was no other force. There's nothing around that could have picked it up off the floor and just handed it to the dog, like kind of like how you're what do you call it? Like coaxing a dog to come with you, like you want to pet the dog, like, oh, come here puppy, come here dog, and here's some food. That's kind of what it was like. It was just one piece of the dog's kibble that just kind of just jumped off the floor right in his direction. And she told me that. I was like, oh my gosh, here we go again. And since then, yeah, we've had a few things. I think Brianna's got a few stories, because he pretty much became he's always been Brianna's dog. And he pretty much stayed in her bed. He was an indoor dog, an indoor pet, and he lived in her bedroom until he left us. So but yeah, that's just a little taste of other stories that we have from that animal, that I think a spirit or something from that house was attracted
to the dog,
to him, and followed us over here.
Yeah.
And pretty much been hanging out since then. I think we still have some stuff going on.
Yeah.
Even though that we no longer have Cobra Bubbles. He's no longer with us, but I think not his spirit, but the spirit that followed him.
Yeah.
I was hoping the spirit would just kind of follow him to his next life, his next home, if you will. And but no, I think that spirit still wants to hang around. Maybe he or she's looking for Cobra Bubbles still. So,
yeah.
But anyways, you got anything else? How's the chat?
Oh, chat's doing good.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's really strange.
PJ has a few stories I could submit.
Do you?
Please do.
We would love that.
Please do. If you guys got a few stories, we would love to do this.
Love that.
All the time. We got the stuff.
Yeah, I know.
We got the setup.
This is nothing.
This is like a piece.
This is just what we could figure out that would fit in the phone frame.
I know. She was like taking these spider webs all throughout this room up here. I'm like, the camera's gonna be like this big. But yeah, we got all kinds of fun things. We love to decorate.
Yeah.
You should see the outside when September rolls around. So.
Yeah, Wendy, there's always that chance. We do our best to do all the things so that doesn't happen. The sage, the oils, the prayers. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Those things can happen. and then we ask them not to come in with us, if at all. PJ, we would love to get those in the email. So what do you think? Would you guys like to do this again? Let us know. Let us know with some thumbs up. Thumbs down if you didn't like it in the chat. Give us some thumbs down if you didn't like it. Let us know your honest opinions.
Yeah.
We're definitely not going to hurt our feelings. But yeah, if this is something you guys enjoyed, we would definitely love to know. And we can hook it up again. Or just leave our loft this way.
I know, we might just leave the loft decorated for this.
We've got movie night over there, and then spooky night over here.
We are set for all kinds of live streaming.
We're set
here.
So we got some thumbs up here. Definitely.
Got some thumbs up. Perfect.
Definitely. Whew, getting a little hot in here, huh? You love the setup? Thank you. It is a very minuscule example of what we do during Halloween. And this year, we're really hoping to go even bigger with our display. Unfortunately, we only have so much room we can utilize with our own yard. But one of our neighbors who newly moved in here, really seemed to love it and kind of started copying it himself, which is fine. That is a compliment. So I think I literally want to take our spider webs this year and string them 20 feet up in the air and connect it from house to house, because we do that at Christmas. We, our whole street, a lot of this neighborhood, we string lights from house to house to house, so that when you drive down the street, you drive down lights above you. A lot of people like to come and hang out their what do you call it?
Christmas lights?
No, the hole in your car.
The hole in my car.
It's on the tip of my tongue. The sunroof.
Oh.
The sunroof. They like to hang out the sunroof and do their Instagram and all their photos because of all the lights above the street. The window. The sunroof. Your sunroof.
Sunroof.
Yeah, they stand up out of their car, out of the sunroof. So this year, I would like to take it from Christmas lights and do spider web.
Why don't you tell them what this stuff is, actually?
So,
you can't buy this at your typical... Well, you could buy it at Spirit Halloween,
but it would be way more expensive.
And you only get like a square of this stuff.
Yeah, so this is actually called beef netting. And Damien found it online in a what's it called? Trenton
Mills, something like that.
And it comes in a huge roll for like $100. But I'm telling you, the bang for your buck that you can spend on so many things. This spider web with the right lighting, and we attract a lot of folks. We get a lot of folks, not just on Halloween night, but they come the whole month. So we get started on this mid-September so that we're done by October 1st. And then by mid-October, every night, people are just driving by and enjoying the displays. But a lot of folks in our community do Halloween displays. It's not just us. I think we kind of started it, though.
I think so, yeah.
I think we kind of started it, though. And even when we lived in Canyon Lake, our house there was perfect for the display. And we would have literally cars. People would trick-or-treat with their golf carts in Canyon Lake. And it would be a mile-long line for them to drive past our house. So this is something we've been doing since we've been a thing. And we've been doing it for years now, and it just gets bigger and bigger every year. So maybe one day we can go get some property somewhere and have a a tractor pull and
Do a haunted
a
hayride.
haunted hayride and grow some cornfields, and that would be cool.
Have characters.
Yeah, that would be cool. Grow some pumpkins and do the thing. Do the thing, because we don't get tired of it.
Yeah, we kind of like we get excited once summer starts because that's when you start to see a lot of the Halloween
It's like
decor.
right now, halfway to Halloween.
It's kind of you're right. It's kind of
It
starting
is.
right now. The halfway to Halloween stuff. There's a big convention going on right now, and it just started today in St. Louis.
Yeah, Transworld.
Transworld.
Transworld just started.
It's really fun if you guys just want to watch some fun Halloween professional animatronics and haunted houses and mazes and stuff like that. Go check out Trans. It's a big trade show. It's every year in St. Louis, and that's where a lot of artists, people that make these big giant props and costumes and lighting effects, smoke machines, like you name it, it's there. If you're someone in the haunt industry, that's where you go to get all your haunt stuff. So it's a fun trade. So hopefully we can make a trip up there one of these years.
That's
to
like
go
our dream show to go to.
Check it out. Yeah, and it's like all weekend, but that's happening right now. It's here we are. This is kind of the start of halfway to Halloween.
But you've got to be like a haunt or something, don't you, to go?
You might have to have some type of a business, if you will, because for a lot of people, like the haunt industry, it's a year-round business. It's Knott's, for example, they have a department, and I'm sure all the other theme parks, they have a department that just works specifically on their scary farm, and they're year-round. They don't stop at all because they got to keep thinking of new things for the following year. So they have to brainstorm, and they think of how the layout of the maze is and whatnot. So it's a big industry and whatnot, but we get excited nonetheless when March or April turns around, because hey, we're halfway to Halloween. But then we get sad once October 1st hits, because then like you see all the Christmas stuff going up, and not that we don't like Christmas, but it's like, man, October's here.
I know.
Like, that means Halloween's going to be over in 31 days.
There's like a October depression that starts. October 1st. It's like as the 31st draws near, you have less days to celebrate Halloween, and you get a little sad. November 1st is like the worst day of the year.
Well, the worst day, because then we have about a week or so to take all the Halloween decorations outside.
That part.
Just imagine this stuff everywhere. I mean,
Everywhere.
You can watch. I encourage you guys, if you're new here, if you haven't already, you can watch our video of Halloween, of what our house looks like decorated. Just scroll throughout to find one of our original videos. We have
it's on
spider
Instagram.
webs. Yeah, we're on Instagram.
We also share all of the fun, spooky events that are taking place in SoCal. Sometimes I share other ones. I know there's a big one in Florida happening right now, some type of haunted attraction. But I also share a lot. I know we've got a spooky night market this Saturday night somewhere in Santa Ana. On Instagram, in the highlights under 24 events, it'll say 24 events for the year 2024. You can just scroll through there and find things. So I know starting this weekend, we have some fun night markets and stuff where all the spooky vendors come. And again, it's not for everybody, but if that is your flair, it's something different.
Yeah.
A lot of different small businesses that you can support, and food vendors come, and spooky dessert people make really fun things and unique gift ideas. They're a lot of fun. So if it's not on my Instagram right now, it's under the highlight reels for 24 events, it will say.
Yeah.
So a lot of fun stuff already on there, and there's just more to come.
And then speaking of halfway to Halloween, I think, was it Six Flags that's doing their
Six
event
Flags.
too?
Their summer or spring.
Scream Break, right?
Scream Break. There you go.
Scream Break is coming up. And
Yep.
how long does that last?
I think it's just like a month or
is it a month
something. It's
long?
on weekends, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then, well, I got my computer right
So
here.
if
I
you're
can look real
if you're
quick.
local here to Southern California, it's a
what
little
was
bit
it
of a
again?
drive. It's in Valencia.
Something
Scream Break.
Scream Break.
Scream Break at Six Flags. Definitely check it out. Okay, PJ says Scream Break. It's the weekends in April, I think. Okay. Perfect. We'll do. I'll check Little Roo. Definitely. I'm using my phone to record, so I'll make sure once we get off here.
So Friday and Saturday, March 22 through April 13th. So not quite a month. 9 p.m. to midnight.
Okay.
Tickets are on sale for that now for $40 if you don't already have a pass. So that is for after hours admission, unlimited access to 2 haunted mazes, including Saw and Condemned House Party,
Oh, very
unlimited
nice.
access to 3 scare zones, unlimited ride access to 6 thrilling attractions.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. It does look like if you're a pass holder, you make a reservation.
But it doesn't cost admission if you're already a pass holder, right?
I believe you are good to go if you are already a pass holder.
So very cool. So if you guys didn't hear that, if you guys are already annual pass holder there for Six Flags, you get to the events included.
It says
So
wristbands can be redeemed in the park at pass holder services or the Scream Break sales center while supplies last. Parking is free for pass holders with season parking pass or $10 at the gate.
nice.
So you can find all the information at sixflags.com on that. I heard a lot of good stuff from it last year. The people we know that went last year had a really good time.
Yeah.
It gives you a little bit of a taste of what's to come for the year. If you've been missing HHN and Not Scary Farm and all of the events that happen during the season, this gives you a little dose of that to get you through the next 6 months.
That and well, then we have Midsummer Scream
We've
that's
got
coming
Midsummer
up too.
Scream coming up. I believe those tickets are still on sale right now for 40% off, with the
Okay.
exception of the big VIP 3-day package. But those, I believe, are like $35 right now, roughly.
It's a big event. I think
it's a big
there's
event.
quite a bit to do there. So the 3-day pass wouldn't be a bad idea if you take your time.
Yeah.
If you want to go through comfortably and not just rush through like
Mhm.
the main floor. They also, I think they do panels there too, don't they? Don't they do some type of panels like?
Yeah, and that's where you really find out what's coming to Knott's, what's coming to
They make the big announcements there.
HHN. They make a lot of big announcements there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's even a section there at that event where a lot
It's
of
like 75,000 square feet of home haunts. And
It's really
or
cool.
a taste of the bigger haunts in there. So all the spooky vendors, food, a lot of times, actors, actresses from horror movies are in there. This is a bigger show, so it'll draw some bigger names. And then also the big scare hall in there. So a lot of Halloween costumes and masks. I mean, we're talking not like Spirit Halloween, but a step up from that usually. Just a lot of fun. And, you don't have to go into the scare zone if you've got kids. Our kids love it, so we're good to go. But we may have a group of folks going, so definitely something to look into. You don't have to be alone.
Yes, PJ said the Hall of Screams.
The Hall of Screams. Thank you, PJ. Yes, the
Perfect.
Hall of Screams. Exactly. So
PJ
a lot
said
of
that
fun
they
there.
suggest the Golden Bat tickets for Midsummer Scream went, and all the panels were packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. You could probably just spend so much time in line and waiting for the panels as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
It's a commitment. You gotta, if you're
It
gonna
is a
go, you
commitment.
gotta probably just bite the bullet and
Yeah.
do the 3-day pass. So
Right.
I think, was it last year was our first year that we went to it? And we
I
just,
think we went on a Sunday too.
that's right. I think it was
I
a
think
Sunday.
we waited too late to get tickets, and all that was left was Sunday. And so But even on Sunday, it was fun.
It was fun as well.
Yeah.
We kind of had to breeze through it pretty quickly, but I think we covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, because our son just wanted to stay in the Hall of Screams.
Yeah, he just wanted to go through the mazes.
He didn't want to go see any of the vendors. He just wanted to stay in the Hall of Screams.
That was boring for him to go walk look at the vendors, like the T-shirts and all
he wasn't having it.
The artwork, the mask. I thought he would love that, but once he saw the haunted houses, he was set.
He wasn't having it.
He was ready to go through the mazes.
That's funny.
Just any other news?
Not that I can think of.
There's-
We'll be live tomorrow.
Boysenberry Festival's happening tomorrow.
The Boysenberry Festival starting tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, a bunch of people are getting together. Y'all probably know already. You've probably heard it 100 times, but I'll drill it in some more. A lot of people are getting together to go on Guardians of the Galaxy. Many of us for the very first time. We haven't been on that ride since it was Tower of Terror, but Living Dead Daughter's never been on it at all.
Yeah.
So it'll be her first time. I think Ciel will hopefully be there. She's never been on it. And hopefully some others. So it should be a good time. So tomorrow, I don't know, like later afternoon, maybe early evening, because a lot of us are going to go to Knott's and cover what we can. We'll see how bad that lag monster is. Oh my goodness.
We all have the worst luck with that. It doesn't matter who you are, what service you have.
Yeah.
It's just it's a tough one at Knott's. So
but we're definitely excited for the kickoff of spooky season. And that's, we love the parks, but you guys know we love a little extra flair and doing the spooky stuff too. So thank you to all of our park streamers and friends that we've met in the parks for joining us here as well. Can't say how much we love you, because we love you just that much. So thank you for joining us again.
And please submit your ghost stories to us if you're just joining us. I know we're kind of wrapping up here, but please send us your stories to our email. If you don't want to type it up, if it's easier for you to just use your cell phone and record your own voice and send it to us as an audio file, that'd be great too. We would love to play that back on the live stream so everyone else can hear your personal encounters of a paranormal event or a UFO sighting or whatever, something just out of the ordinary, anything abnormal that's not normal. Just send it in. Something would be fun. That'd be great if we can hear from you guys too. So we look forward to doing this one again. Hopefully we'll get more entries and more submissions and more encounters that you guys have. Like I said, please send them in so we can keep doing this and hopefully make it a weekly thing or a bi-weekly thing.
Well, I think this next week we want to try and do another watch party.
Okay, like a movie night watch party?
Another movie night watch party, so maybe we can alternate.
That'd be great. So it gives us time gives you guys time to send in something to
Holly,
us.
send those in, please, girl. Thank you. So I think this next week we'll do another movie night, and then the week after, that'll give us more time to get some more submissions together to be able to read.
Holly made a good point. If it's not just your personal encounters, if it's a friend, a family, a loved one, doesn't necessarily have to be your own experience with the supernatural. It could be a coworker that you were talking to and they told you they had something creepy happen at their house, or they went.
Send it to the Living Dead family.
Yes, yes. Send it here.
Send it here.
And we would love to, if they're okay with sharing their story with you or with the rest of the world. Again, you don't have to say your name or whatever.
Also, if you don't want us to say who you are, we won't. If you want it anonymous, you can just let us know right on the top. Hey, keep this anonymous, and we won't say anything, or make up some phony email address real quick and send it to us.
Holly said, before you go, I have really important news.
All right, we're all ears, honey.
We're waiting. I know there's a delay, so go ahead.
Go for it. Let's give Holly our undivided attention.
Thank you, Little Roo, for being here. it was your East Coast. There are a lot of scary farms and, of course, Haunted Park stuff coming up the end of
We
summer.
love you, Holly. You have no idea. You have no idea, girl. We really, really do. We, all of you, Wendy Girl and Holly and Tina and PJ and Jay and a lot of folks that aren't even on here tonight. Winks, we love the Winks family and Linda, Cordy. I can't say enough about this community and making what we call friends and family. You guys are all just amazing souls, and we're honored to know you, and you spend time with us here, and that we value time. We value time, and it means an awful lot. And so we want to give it back. We want to give it back and spend time with you, because I can't say enough. I'm probably a broken record. Forgive me. Forgive me.
Me too.
Yeah, I can't say enough that we as a family, but these two people right here love spending time doing this, and we never in a million years thought we would.
Yeah.
When he first kind of told me about this, I probably looked at him like, what?
You're out of your mind.
What are you doing? What are you roping us into? And then just seeing that little live button come on and the smile on his face, it was like, how can I not get as excited? And
vice versa, you light up too.
Yeah. So all these people we're meeting that you just never imagined would be spectacular as you all are. Man, it's awesome.
And most of you guys, we've never met in person. And who knows, we probably never will. But I mean, you guys are our family already, and you guys mean a lot to us. Just like as she was saying, just allowing us to have your time. And there's a lot of people that live stream.
Sometimes these are better friends, Holly. Jay, we love Jay, PJ, Winks, Holly, Wendy. There's my girl Brianna. She's still here for us.
That's right. Our original mod.
And we talk about your streams too. You're right, Brianna. There's little Rue. Yeah, every face on here, and even some that aren't. We miss when we don't see you guys. We talk about you when we aren't all together like this, because you all in your own way have made an impact on our lives. And
so much that the other day, most of you guys that are in the chat are here now, I needed a roast coffee. I mean, you guys know how much I love coffee. We do our breakfast, our lattes the Living Dead found. But I'm like, they're not going to want to watch me roast coffee beans. She's like, well, if you have to roast, just throw the camera on and just go live. I'm like, okay, whatever. And there was quite a few of you there that I was thankful for you guys jumping in. So, like I said, it's one of my passions. I don't want to make this a coffee specific channel. I might do another channel just for that. But I wanted to share my love and passion for that craft or trade, if you will, just for you guys. I know I can go on and on about it because it's a rabbit hole I went down, so I don't want to take you guys down that rabbit hole. But hey, if you want to,
something during this roast.
What did I miss? I know we need to roast someone during this roast. Exactly.
A little tea with your coffee roast.
Seriously, I mean, we already got the hot seat right here behind us. You guys like our animatronic friend with us?
We have plenty more where he came from.
Like I said, we were so happy to do this. Some people might like, okay, this is ridiculous. This is too much. But we were excited. We couldn't wait to just throw this up. And we literally threw this up with what, in a few hours before we went live streaming. Yeah. So.
But I've been asking him for days.
I know, she's been asking me for days. I'm like, but it's raining outside. It's not raining in the house. But no, it's fun. Luckily, most of the stuff was easy to get to in our garage.
Boyfriend.
This is Holly's boyfriend.
He's all yours, girlfriend.
So Holly, when you move in, he can room with this guy.
We got this guy for you.
He'll keep you nice and warm at night. He'll tell you some ghost stories at the end of the night.
He'll stir through your soul. For real. Brian, you like the Crypt Keeper, buddy?
Do any of you guys know who the Crypt Keeper is? Because he's
I know, Brian. Do you know who the Crypt Keeper is, darling?
he's old school. He's old HBO 90s.
I love Brian. He shares with me all the time when me and my stories, right? I share a lot of stories. And he's like, well, I've never heard of this before. And I've never heard of that before. So we're just showing Brian all kinds of new fun stuff. We got to get Brian here from Texas to
There we go.
check out all the fun, spooky stuff.
Linda Lou, how are you? Welcome in. Yes, the Headless Horseman.
We need a Headless Horseman.
We do. They do have some Headless Horseman
They do.
props. They have some fun
They have
ones.
some big ones, too.
Yeah, they have some that are on a larger scale.
I don't know that he'd fit in the...
He'd probably take up this whole
He'd take up the
table.
whole thing. Oh, that's too
There's
funny.
some really good ones. But yeah, maybe as we continue to do this, maybe we might replace him with another friend. We got several
Lots of friends.
animatronic friends
Mhm.
that hang out here
Mhm.
during
Mhm.
Halloween. And honestly, he's just up here because we really didn't have room to put him. He pretty much hangs out in our bedroom. He was in our son's room for a long while after
Yeah.
Halloween. I think he just got tired of
I
him,
think he did.
just
But
hanging
he
out
wanted
with
him
them.
in there.
He was literally,
Yeah.
he had him across the room and he would just watch him sleep at night.
Yeah.
I think he put him to sleep. I don't know,
I
but
don't know. It was the weirdest thing.
I
It was
wouldn't
the
have wanted
weirdest
this thing in my room as a kid, but I have him now in my room as an adult. So
Mhm.
what's the difference,
What
right?
do you do? Yeah, we do have Halloween props in our bedroom. It's a thing. It's a thing. So, all right, you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us and enjoy the rest of those Disney streams. I think they've got Disney Channel night again tonight. Disney Plus
Channel.
night or whatever it is.
It
And
was raining earlier. I don't know if it's still
I
raining.
think the rain stopped. I know
It stopped.
it was perfect for the whole ghost story scenario because it was like coming down pretty good earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like right
I
when we
think it
started to
stopped.
stream, like you could really hear the rain. I don't know if it would pick up on the camera. But you could
He
just
doesn't even like the
definitely hear it.
animated Grinch. Oh, shoot. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap up. Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll do this again. So next week, we'll do another watch party. Week after that, we'll do another ghost story reading, and maybe we can just keep alternating. So tomorrow night, we've got Tomorrow Knots. Tomorrow night, we've got Disney. A lot of streamers will be at Knots. A lot of streamers will be at Disney.
Do we know what movie we're gonna do for movie night?
No, we're gonna have to put our heads together and figure it out.
Should we do like a vote or
Maybe
something?
we should do a vote.
Because we picked the first one, so maybe
Mhm.
we'll, I don't know, have 3 or 4 of them to choose from.
and we'll put them up on Instagram and start narrowing it down.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll work on that tonight and hopefully get it started tomorrow and have something chosen hopefully by like Tuesday.
Yeah.
So that we can have it pumped out. by
And obviously,
Thursday.
it'll be movies that are free to everyone on
Mhm,
YouTube.
on YouTube.
Because
Yeah.
YouTube, there's a good list of free movies out there, and I still need to see if
Mhm.
those are still available. But we had
Good night,
some
Jay.
good ones. So yeah. Anywho, we can probably just sit here and ramble forever.
Guardians tomorrow. PJ,
Yes.
we're ready too. We are ready. Matilda's pretty scary. We are talking about that. We're talking about how to maybe do some scarier movies, but we may need to do that on another channel.
Another platform.
Or
probably.
platform, yeah. So we're gonna try and keep this one
We'll keep the YouTube channel.
somewhat family friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might throw in a PG-13 here and there.
Yeah.
Like for example, Gremlins is a PG-13, but it's not terrible.
Right.
It's PG-13 for the 80s.
Mhm.
But yeah, we can probably. We were actually just talking about that today because we both love. I mean, we love some slasher films. You know that defined the genre
Blair
that
Witch
we
would be good.
we grew up in the 80s, and that was the huge era. That's when all the slashers came out. So of course that you couldn't
Jay,
help.
we need Blair Witch at Cinespia.
Blair Witch at the Cinespia.
That would be awesome.
That'd be incredible.
They should start dropping what movies they'll be playing here soon.
Probably check on their
Tremors.
website.
Yeah.
Tremors, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys have any good ideas, if you notice there's not just YouTube, but like Pluto TV, there's free apps out there that have really good movies too. I know there's commercials in them or ads or whatnot, but we can get through those.
We can get through it.
As long as, because not everyone has Netflix or
You have Tremors memorized.
or Hulu. But yeah, we'll definitely do a movie night. That way everyone is all included. Y'all won't have to spend a dime and just watch movies with us. Watch our reactions, and we'll probably, depending on what movie we pick, Living Dead Mom might make a little snack
A little snacky
to
snack.
go with the movie. We had sliders last time, so
Yes, that's right.
we'll have to think of
That's right.
what, depending on what movie we choose and what kind of
Mm-hmm.
a snack or beverage
Yeah.
can go with the movie
Sounds
that
like
we
a
choose. So, anyways, we'll just ramble forever.
plan. Pluto TV.
Yes, Pluto TV. That's the other one. Pluto TV's a good one. There's a few.
Real
I need to look through
ones.
them. But definitely, yeah.
All right. Sounds like a
Cool,
plan.
cool.
I think we gotta go over to the camera, right?
I know. I gotta go to the camera.
Good night, everybody.
We'll get
I
close
will,
to the camera.
Yeah, I know. I gotta
I'll
figure this little bad boy out here.
Someone in there said earlier they wanted to meet a kiss. The Crypt Keeper. I think it was Dave. Dave, are you still in there? Let us know if you're still here. And we can say goodnight. Good night, good vibes. Windy Girl, PJ, Jay, Little Roo. Let me turn it forward for you. Get close to the Crypt Keeper. Thank you guys for being here. Look, he's staring into your soul.
Yes.
All right. I don't know if Dave, Wendy Girl, thank you again for your submissions.
Thank you, Wendy Girl.
You definitely made this
And your
a fun night.
sister.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
And hopefully no more ghosts follow you. Hopefully life's better for you. If not, you know how to handle them. All right, I'll kiss him because it was part of someone's suggestion. Good night, Crypt Keeper. Until next time. Good night, guys. Winks. I gotta watch you, my friend. All right, guys. We love you guys. Thanks for being part of the Living Dead fam. And we will see you on the next one. Have a good night, folks.